Have you ever wondered what really drives human behavior in the digital age? Imagine this: billions of people typing their deepest desires into search engines every single day. What if we could analyze those searches and uncover hidden patterns about who we are as individuals and as a society? That's exactly what happened when a group of engineers at Google decided to dive headfirst into one of humanity's most controversial topics: pornography. They weren't just looking for clicks or trends, they were trying to understand something far bigger: the psychology behind our fantasies. In their groundbreaking work titled "A Billion Wicked Thoughts," these engineers revealed some fascinating insights not just about sex, but about power, relationships, and even storytelling itself. And here's the kicker: while men and women might seem worlds apart in their preferences, there's actually a surprising overlap in how they perceive romance, danger, and transformation. But don't worry, we're not going down a rabbit hole of scandalous details, well, maybe a little. Instead, let's explore how these findings can teach us something profound about ourselves, our relationships, and the stories we tell each other. So buckle up, it's time to unpack the mythologies that shape our lives, the archetypes that fuel our imaginations, and why understanding all of this matters more than you might think. Picture this: a young woman sits alone in her room late at night, scrolling through pages of online content. She stumbles across a story, or perhaps a video, that catches her attention. It's not just any story, though. This narrative features an attractive protagonist, a heroine who finds herself face to face with someone dangerous, mysterious, and undeniably captivating. He's not your average guy next door. No, he's something else entirely. Maybe he's a vampire lurking in the shadows, his piercing gaze promising both protection and peril. Or perhaps he's a billionaire CEO, aloof and untouchable, wielding immense power from his glass-walled office high above the city streets. Could it be a pirate, rugged and rebellious, sailing uncharted waters with a crew of outlaws? Or maybe a werewolf, torn between primal instincts and fragile humanity? And then there's the surgeon, the coldly analytical master of precision, whose steady hands hold life and death in perfect balance. Sound familiar? These characters aren't random creations pulled out of thin air. According to the data analyzed by those fearless Google engineers, these archetypes represent recurring themes in female fantasy across cultures, generations, and geographies. But why do these specific types resonate so deeply? Why does the idea of encountering and ultimately taming a monster strike such a chord? To answer that question, we need to dig a little deeper. At its core, this fascination isn't just about attraction or arousal, it's about transformation. Think about it. The central plotline in many of these narratives involves a seemingly ordinary woman stepping into chaos, confronting danger, and emerging victorious. She doesn't just survive, she thrives. In fact, she transforms the very thing that once threatened her into an ally, a partner, or even a lover. This dynamic mirrors a universal truth about human nature. We're drawn to challenges that push us beyond our comfort zones. Whether it's climbing a mountain, starting a business, or navigating the complexities of love, we crave experiences that test our limits and reveal our potential. For women, the fantasy of taming a monster taps into this primal urge for growth and empowerment. It's not enough to simply find safety or security. True fulfillment comes from turning chaos into order, fear into strength, and uncertainty into clarity. But here's where things get really interesting. While the concept of taming may sound straightforward on the surface, it's anything but. Taming isn't about submission or control, it's about connection. It's about recognizing the humanity beneath the mask of dominance, aggression, or mystery. When the heroine in these stories confronts her monster, she doesn't strip him of his power. Instead, she channels it, refines it, and integrates it into a shared vision of harmony and purpose. It's a delicate dance between opposing forces, one that requires courage, vulnerability, and trust. Now, let's take a step back and examine the broader implications of these findings. The archetypes identified by the Google engineers, vampire, werewolf, billionaire, pirate, surgeon, are more than just fictional constructs. They reflect timeless aspects of masculinity that have shaped cultural narratives for centuries. Each archetype embodies a different facet of male energy. The vampire represents allure and seduction. The werewolf embodies raw passion and unpredictability. The billionaire symbolizes ambition and authority. The pirate stands for freedom and rebellion, and the surgeon exemplifies discipline and mastery. What's remarkable is that these archetypes aren't confined to the realm of fantasy. You'll find echoes of them in real-world dynamics too. Consider the stereotype of the brooding artist or the charismatic leader, their variations on the same theme. Even in everyday interactions, we often gravitate toward individuals who embody qualities that challenge us, intrigue us, or inspire us to grow. There's something inherently magnetic about complexity, whether it manifests as confidence, creativity, or resilience. However, this attraction to complexity also carries risks. After all, monsters aren't monsters because they lack charm or charisma, they're monsters because they wield their power recklessly or destructively. This duality is precisely what makes them so compelling and so dangerous. The line between thrilling excitement and genuine harm can blur easily, especially in contexts where boundaries are unclear or communication is lacking. That's why the process of taming becomes so crucial. It's not about erasing someone's flaws or suppressing their intensity, it's about guiding them toward healthier expressions of their innate traits. For men, this insight offers a roadmap for self-awareness and personal development. If you've ever wondered what women truly want, the answer lies less in conforming to societal expectations and more in embracing your authentic self with all its contradictions and complexities. Women aren't looking for perfection, they're looking for authenticity. They're drawn to men who embody strength without arrogance, ambition without selfishness, and passion without recklessness. The challenge is finding the right balance, a task that requires introspection, empathy, and humility. For women, these findings shed light on the underlying motivations behind certain fantasies and preferences. The desire to tame a monster isn't rooted in a need for control or validation, it's rooted in a desire for partnership. By engaging with chaos and transforming it into order, women assert their agency and affirm their value. This process isn't limited to romantic relationships either. It applies to friendships, careers, and personal goals as well. Every time you confront a difficult situation or navigate a complex relationship, you're participating in the same hero's journey that defines these archetypal narratives. By now, I hope you're seeing this topic in a new light, not as a shallow examination of sexual preferences, but as a profound reflection of human psychology and storytelling. So here's my challenge to you. The next time you watch a movie, read a book, or listen to a song, pay attention to the archetypes and themes woven into the narrative. Ask yourself, what does this story reveal about our collective hopes, fears, and aspirations? How does it resonate with your own experiences and values? And if you're feeling brave, take it a step further. Reflect on the roles you play in your own life. Are you the tamer or the tamed, the creator or the destroyer, the hero or the villain? Chances are you've embodied all of these roles at different points, and that's okay. Life is messy, unpredictable, and full of contradictions. Embracing that complexity is what makes us human. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the psychology of fantasy and mythology, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Better yet, share this video with someone who loves exploring big ideas, because conversations like this only get better when we bring others into the fold. Until next time, stay curious, stay open-minded, and remember, the stories we tell ourselves matter more than we realize.